Hello and welcome to chapter 15. It's a good chapter. It talks about points of purchase sales, also known as POP. Just a quick number. If you have any doubt about the value of point of purchase, in 2008, point of purchase sales accounted for a little over $20 billion in sales. So there's a lot of money to be made out there off of these point of purchase displays. Starting over here on page 250, we look at the introduction, and it talks about, in an effort to separate and distinguish their items from the others, some of the vendors designed and produced inexpensive self-contained stands and shelves. Don't get me wrong, these inexpensive ones aren't gone, but they have certainly evolved into a whole lot more than what they used to be even 20 or 30 years ago. We talk about, also on 250, that's Mark Smalley. The success of this type of display can be measured in a number of ways. Talks about a club, an agency called POPAI. It's the Point of Purchase Advertising International. It's an organization based out of Washington, D.C. They use, well, we'll just tell Mark Smalley. That's two from Mark Smalley. I forgot where was that. POPIA defines point of purchase as displays, signs, structures, and devices that are used to identify, advertise, and/or merchandise, an outlet, service, or product, and which serve as an aid to retail selling. You won't survive off of point of purchase sales, believe me, but they can get you additional revenue, get the shoppers in the store. Again, the marketer, it's their responsibility to get the shopper to buy. But again, don't rule out these point of purchase displays. We go on to talk about there seems to be, no matter which store we enter today, there's some form of point of purchase displays. You'd be hard pressed to go into a store and not have a point of purchase display, either typically right near the checkouts, or maybe if you're in a grocery store, the little end caps will have a little point of purchase display. And we're going to talk about it here in a couple of pages, but the videos that you're now seeing in some of the stores, we talk about mass merchandisers, Kmart, Walmart. They use a lot of point of purchase. Point of purchase is all revolved around one thing. It's revolved around the idea of the impulse buy. So you're not going to put a $300 item on a point of purchase display. It's an impulse buy, and as we've talked about in other classes, what is your limit for an impulse buy? My limit for an impulse buy is probably under $3. Some people will say $5. Think about it if you go to Walmart or Kmart or Target. The point of purchase displays right next to the checkouts usually have soda, water, energy drinks, and they're $1.60, $1.70, when all you had to do is walk to the back of the store and get a 2-liter for half that price. They work. These point of purchase displays work. Typically something transient, something temporary is going to be cardboard or corrugated, something like that. But they also come in with racks, metal, steel. So the point of purchase display doesn't necessarily have to be a temporary thing. And typically, and I want to watch how I say this, your point of purchase merchandise will not be stocked. Now that's not a hard and fast rule, but typically sometimes you'll see a point of purchase display. Once the items are gone from that display, the display is gone. You don't restock that display. Now again, there are some items that you would. For example, eyeglasses. You can restock the point of purchase display. But then again, you'll find some displays, once the items are gone, you're not going to restock it. You're just going to get rid of the point of purchase display. We go on to page 252. We talk about the use of point of purchase in supermarkets, warehouse clubs, pharmacy, greeting card stores. But over on page 253, we start talking about the specialty organizations. Again, the very top line tells you what a specialty shop is. Businesses that restrict their merchandise offerings to one major classification of goods. These specialty stores are growing in numbers. We're seeing more and more of them. But about halfway, I'm sorry, 3/4 of the way down the paragraph, it talks about many of today's vendors are employing design firms to produce unique point of purchase. They're actually outsourcing these point of purchase displays. Why? Because of creativity. Plus, it might just be less expensive. We talk about on 253 the department stores. Just above the picture on 253, we talk about in-store vendor shops. Designers and well-known manufacturers such as Ralph Lauren, Donna Karan, Calvin Klein, etc. have shops inside department stores that are separate from the regular departments. These vendors often supply the fixtures, the signage, any special advertising. Now it's a win-win because, as page 254 points out, the shopper is shown merchandise. The vendor gets their product displayed. The store doesn't have to pay for the racks, don't have to pay for the design of them. So it's a win-win for both places. 254, 255, we talk about the major reasons for point of purchase uses. There's 6 of them total. I forgot what they are, but I'm going to suggest that you don't forget who they are or what they are. And then we talk on page 255, some of the fixtures, interactive video. If you go with me, 255, figure 15-4 down there at the bottom, shows an interactive point of purchase facility. I'm sure we've all seen these. It's much quicker. The customer can go to the screen, tap out what they want, and hopefully find what they want on the screen, then go look for it in the store. That's the idea behind the interactive videos. And then you'll see on 256 the gondolas. This particular one in figure 15-6. Notice how it's on wheels. Makes it easily moved. Hopefully they're locking wheels so they don't roll over kids, but again, we've talked about that in previous chapters. Always make sure your displays are secure, because if there's a way to steal it, somebody will. We talk on 257 about closed circuit videos. Disney stores are big on this, and the thing that Disney counts on is the videos they're showing. They want to appeal to younger and older audiences. So they're hitting 2 different target markets with one video. And it works for them. Again, we talk on 257 at the very, very bottom. The cardboard fixtures, inexpensive, but again, they're not very durable. They won't last a long time for you. This whole chapter is devoted to point of purchase. Again, like I said, in 2008, $20 billion in sales. Point of purchase is built around impulse buys. You'll see a lot of ladies' hosieries, eyeglasses, candies. It's a big selling point. So that's chapter 15. Please read the chapter. It's a great chapter. And look for our second video about your assignment. Thanks.